Hey guys, welcome to the Fury Time channel. Anthony Joshua vs Francis Ngannou. Date, UK start time, undercard, and how to follow as AJ faces former UFC champion in Saudi Arabia. AJ will be to follow in Tyson Fury's footsteps when he faces former UFC star Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia next month. AJ is in the process of rebuilding his career after losing his world titles. Joshua had been set to face Deontay Wilder next, but Wilder defeated Joseph Parker. Meanwhile, former UFC heavyweight champion Ngannou will be appearing in only his second ever professional boxing bout. The Predator stunned the world on his debut when he floored Fury last October. Although the WBC heavyweight world champion ultimately won via split decision. Joshua vs Ngannou, date and start time. This 10-round heavyweight clash is slated to go ahead on Friday, March 8th. It is taking place on a Friday due to Saudi Arabia Grand Prix at Jeddah. The boxing action is once again scheduled to take place at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The location for Joshua's win over Wilder and the Ngannou's defeat to Fury. Timings for this event are yet to be confirmed, but the undercard action is expected to start around 7 p.m. UK time. The ring walks for the main event can then be expected from 11 p.m. The action will also be broadcast on DAZN pay-per-view, with details around the price and the coverage start time to follow in due course. Deontay Wilder breaks silence on Anthony Joshua vs Francis Ngannou after blowing blockbuster with a British rival. No comment. The American had already put pen to paper on an AJ fight deal before disaster struck. Wilder at long last had put pen to paper on a deal to face Joshua in Saudi Arabia in March. But on the night they both attended in December, the American suffered a shock defeat to Joseph Parker. So Joshua, who beat Artur moments later, instead turned his attention to ex-UFC champion Ngannou. Wilder, now back in training and looking for redemption, had little to say when probed on the crossover clash on March 8 in Riyadh. He told, "Fun fight, I look at this as a fun fight. May the best man win." He said, "I'm about to shock the world for the second time for sure. We are just picking up the pieces, a lot of lesson have been learned and a lot of blessing have come in the minds of the lesson. It's just something I needed. I've been doing a lot of things for a lot of people for the last several years. Now we are just trying to be selfish at this point in time. We are not really calling it selfish, we're calling it self-focused," Ngannou said. And Yarde and Joshua Ngannou can't say a guy that dropped Fury is not credible as an opponent. Promoter Artur doesn't think he has egg on his face the way Lennox Lewis has insisted he does. The matchroom hat and the last undisputed heavyweight champion in boxing went back and forth on social media recently, as it relates to the upcoming fight between Yarde's charge Anthony Joshua and former UFC champion Francis Ngannou on March 8th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The matchup is the latest high-profile fight to take place in the oil-producing kingdom, courtesy of one of their powerful bureaucrats, Turkey. Lewis excoriated Yarde for standing behind Joshua vs Ngannou, especially since Yarde ridiculed WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury for deciding to fight Ngannou in a boxing no-fight last October. But the perceived mismatch turned out to be a largely competitive affair, with Ngannou even dropping Fury in the early going. Fury would hang on to win a rather close split decision. In response to Lewis, Yarde said in a recent interview the charge of hypocrisy for supporting a crossover bout between Joshua and Ngannou was not valid because Ngannou, he feels, has now distinguished himself as a worthwhile competitor. But all that is immaterial, Yarde said, because the reason the fight is happening is simply because Al-Sheikh wanted it. Turkey moreover wants to pair the winner of Joshua Ngannou with Tyson Fury. You can't say that a guy that dropped Fury and in many eyes beat him is not credible as an opponent, Yarde said. Thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.